Hi everyone, my name's Greg Bruce, and I thought instead of having a synchronous session next week that I would just go through the syllabus with you for a few minutes and highlight some things, and we could talk next week during the face-to-face class about some stuff. As you know, it runs from October 23rd to the 15th, so that leaves a lot of time for not a lot of time for the work, so we have a lot of material to get through. One of the things about the course is we talk about developing leadership skills. This course is going to be a little bit different than other courses in management or leadership you may have taken. It really is experientially based. I and we in the faculty are much more interested in you walking out of the course and it making a difference to you. Not just you knowing more about leadership, but giving you the ideas, tools to help you develop some leadership skills. And we firmly believe that the only way to develop leadership skills is through strong assessment of who you are right now as a leader and a planned way to develop some of the skills. So that's the focus. It's not going to be a cognitive-based course, although there are some important learning that we will be going through. We're going to ask you to identify 2 leadership skills that you would like to develop over the next 8 weeks. We do a lot of different types of things in instructional methods. As you know, we have a day-long assessment day. We have assessment materials that we'll be giving you. We'll be doing in-class experiences and exercises. So we're going to approach it in a slightly different way than maybe you've approached other courses. We have a fee for the assessment day. It covers lunches and materials, and we'll say more about that in the face-to-face class. During the course, mainly I will be communicating by email, and so I will be using your LaSalle email accounts. You can feel free to connect with me on my cell phone, etc. If you do text me, identify who you are, because I don't have your names in my phone. Again, you can go on the portal to get some training sessions on Canvas if this is your first time using it. Here's the textbook. It's required. I had sent you an email about the textbook. I didn't purposely order it for the bookstore. The reason is we're in the 9th edition of the textbook right now. However, if you get the 6th, 7th, or 8th edition, particularly the 7th or 8th, they would be just as fine for the course. In fact, I just went to Amazon, and you can purchase the books at an extremely reasonable price. So I would get that done as soon as possible. I've also included the schedule of courses of the course, and you can see 8 weeks creeps up pretty quickly, so there's a lot of work. And the hard part is just keeping up with everything. But I will go through this on the first day of class with you. Grading, let me tell you the nature of grading in this course. Because this course is going to be asking you to focus on some of your personal assets, liabilities, your skills and weaknesses, we wanted to take grading as much as possible out of the mix. So we grade much more on a concrete contract basis. In other words, if you do so much work at an acceptable level, you can assure of a B. So much additional work can assure an A grade. So while the course may appear easy, it certainly is not simple and not And some would say it's not as easy as it might sound. But it is on a contract basis. For the weeks we're not in class, in the online portion, there are various assignments for you to do. And it is expected that you will complete these assignments, and getting them done will be necessary as a minimum to get at least the B grade. Secondly, there's a U-Ink paper that you are expected to write. It's a skill analysis paper. This will be due about 5 weeks into the course, and it really is like a strategic plan for yourself. There's much more detail on this later in the syllabi. We also expect you to turn in 2 written contracts of skills that you would like to develop this semester. And I'm asking that be turned in after about 3 weeks. And then finally, there's the skill development paper at the end. So all of that well done ensures, and all of that done and that meets expectations will receive a minimum of B grade. Then for the A, we have a couple different options. One, you could write a behavioral skills paper. You could do a management skills book paper and review. A lot of good books out there. Other items you should check with me on. Some people like to do an analysis of a film. Maybe you design or develop a seminar. So there's a few different things you can do. So I'm willing to discuss alternatives. So before the class session, one of the things I'll be asking, it's important to read the chapter. By the way, I should mention in this book, it's the type of book that I think you might like to keep. So it's one of those books that's a keeper. It's one of the best I have read on leadership skills. Basically, there are guidelines for the paper. I got through a little bit here about what are some examples of what might be a B- or a B paper or an A paper. And then here are just some of the categories to think of in terms of grading, if you're for your papers. So a total number of points would guarantee a B+, A- or A. So the rest, you go along in the syllabi, there's just a number of different boilerplate on things here. On November 5th, as you know, we have the assessment workshop, and there's a few things you're asked to do to prepare for that. One of the things you will be doing is an assessment of your presentation skills. So that's some guidelines for that. Here are the skill development contracts that will be required earlier in the semester. Here's some examples. I have some examples for you of those contracts. Here's a description of the U-Ink paper, what you need to put into that. It's like writing a strategic plan for yourself. And then the final paper, a skills development paper. Basically, we're asking you to comment on the 2 skills you were working on and the progress you made. And then here is some discussion on the A papers, if you're interested in writing them. Here's an example of the contract we're talking about. What's the skill you would like to work on? And some different aspects of it. Here's a sample of one. And then I'm asking you to, if you'll look on Canvas, I've asked you to fill this form out and upload it for me. All right, so that's a quick rundown on the syllabus, and I sent that to you. I'm not going to print this out for you. We can come prepared in the face-to-face class to ask me any questions on this. Okay? Hopefully that's helpful. Bye-bye.